Hey, thank you, Vanessa. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the kickoff of NASA's new SBIR partnership platform. I'm Keith Woodman. I lead NASA's SBIR program's post-selection support team, and I'm thrilled to introduce this exciting resource designed to help our small business awardees connect with potential partners, investors, and collaborators. Uh, this platform represents a major step forward in strengthening the innovation ecosystem around NASA's SBIR program. By making it easier for awardees to showcase their technologies and for industry and investors to find them, we're creating opportunities that accelerate commercialization and maximize the impact of NASA-funded innovations. Today, we'll walk through the platform's features, demonstrate how to create a profile, and share tips for making the most of this tool. Our goal is to empower you to build partnerships that take your technology beyond phase one and beyond phase two into real world applications. Thank you again so much for joining us for this important milestone. Let's get started. Take it away, OmniSync.
Thanks so much, Keith. Hey, everyone. My name is Dr. Rupak Doshi. I'm the co-founder and CEO of the company called OmniSync. We're based out of San Diego. And we've been very, very fortunate to partner with the NASA's SBIR office, as well as a couple of other agencies that we also support. And we are very, very thrilled to bring the system to y'all to help y'all move your ideas to market faster. So just a quick yes, no from anyone in the audience. You all can see my screen fine. It should be a flat orange-ish full screen with the OmniSync logo in the middle. Perfect. All right. So our company, like I said, is based out of San Diego. We started back in 2019, and our mission has always been to help deep tech ideas get to market faster. And the reason that we have chosen this is because both my co-founder Norman and myself, we both have PhDs. We came from academic backgrounds. We worked in industry, and throughout our entire experiences and histories, we've kind of seen deep tech ideas struggle at the very early phases to get to market, for even like an attempt to have them be tested in the real world setting. And so our goal right from 2019 has always been to help with that. And so um, if you basically break it down at the very, very simple sense, OmniSync basically helps with fundraising, helps with strategic partnering, and helps with market intelligence to help companies, organizations like Fortune companies, as well as small startups and governments to help move deep tech ideas to markets. We do that with the help of a very strong and mighty team that we have here, most of us in San Diego. And from here, what I'd like to point out is a couple of folks that are key for this meeting here. You'll kind of see Dan here on the very left. He's on the call. He's our project manager who will help with a lot of communications if you guys have problems ever. Then I'm going to point out Michael here. So he's Dr. Bain is a software engineer, a senior software engineer on OmniSync's team. He has been on the partnering platform, basically building it, strategizing it, launching it, deploying it for up about 3 agencies now, 3 SBIR offices. And so he's gone through a lot of different scenarios in terms of how innovators and partners use the system, where they get stuck, stuff like that. And so definitely leverage his experience and help in terms of helping you make the best of this platform. And then I'm going to introduce also Dr. Carol Rapke, who comes to us actually from the Department of Energy. Up until very recently, she was at the DOE, and this SPR partnering platform is actually her baby. It was her concept that she brought together at the DOE, and we built it together. And then we are very fortunate that she's actually now part of OmniSync's team. So with that said, Carol, I'll let you kind of take it over here.
All right, great. Thank you. I will share my screen. Okay, are you seeing a orange screen now as well?
All right. Good, Carol.
Yep, sorry. Okay, so as Rupak mentioned, I joined OmniSync recently, and I came from the Department of Energy, but I joined the Department of Energy after working in the SBIR community for over 22 years. So during that tenure, I worked for a commercialization service partner provider, a dawn breaker. So many of you in the audience may have met me in that stage, and you may have also met me when I was at the Department of Energy. But from working with the thousands of companies that I have worked with, the piece that I noticed that really needed some help was how to help you from being dependent on SBIR funding to get it out into the commercial market or transition it into NASA, or you might have technology that could transition into the Department of War. The piece that was missing was the partner, finding the partners and having a place where you could do that. So I'm going to talk to you just briefly about the power of partnering and how you can use partnerships to strengthen the proposals that you might be putting together in the future, and also how it will increase your chances of successful commercialization. So why are partners needed? And I'm going to speak to this. I will just say that I'm going to speak to these slides as if we know that SBIR and the STTR programs are going to be reauthorized. So all of you in this audience, you have SBIR funding from NASA, and regardless of whether it gets reauthorized or not, you have that funding, and the goal of the program was to commercialize the technology. Why is that the goal? Because Congress wants to see return on investment of these taxpayer dollars, whether it is taxable revenues, job creation, scientific or societal benefit. And even though each year annually it's about 4.4 billion across all the agencies with about 7,000 awards made, the SBIR funding is only going to go so far. So you've gotten this funding, it's non-dilutive, it's not a loan, you never have to pay it back, you keep your IP, it's pretty amazing funding. You don't lose any part of your company. So what can you do to increase your chances of actually getting that commercialization goal? And a study was done that found that small businesses with early stage strategic partners were 50% more likely to successfully commercialize the technology. So that's where we come in, and that's where I call it the SBIR partnering platform. I guess it could also be called the SBIR partnering platform. That's where this comes in. And it's even more important right now that we are having a lapse in the funding. So it's even more important that you have a place where you can go to find partners. So partners are going to vary by development stage. So, everyone started with an idea, and then you are moving through your phase ones and phase twos, and the goal is for you to get to implementation out in the field. So I've just briefly put along the bottom of this whole development path the types of things and people you might have to engage with. So customers, you should be trying to engage with them the whole time, because you really need to do your product market fit at the beginning, and then you'll need them for the requirements, you'll need your beta testing sites, and eventually you'll need those strategic partnerships and sales and licensing. You might be working with research institutes or national labs as you're developing the technologies. Technical consultants might be people you try to work with all the way along. On the site, the platform, you're also going to see that we have service providers, and they are going to be folks that could help you with engineering support or prototyping. They can also help you with manufacturing and business services. Those are folks you need to work with all along. You can use your TABA funding for that. And so it's very important to be cognizant of market research, patenting, marketing communications, maybe even some pitch coaching as you get closer and closer to bringing it to the market. And then, of course, particularly in the environment that we're working in right now, investors are going to be important. Whether you're just at the early stage, so you're looking at corporate or small and medium-sized investors, all the way out to the established companies that have a VC arm, corporate tech scouts as well. So bottom line here, you're going to need partners to successfully commercialize. And so what we want to do is help you be able to more easily find them. So that is why the vision that I had was to bring this SBIR or this SBIR partnering platform to life. And it provides you with a public-facing multi-agency. So that's what's really unique about this, is that it started with DOE building the platform, then NHLBI joined, and now NASA is joining. So it really is showing multi-agency collaboration. It's a searchable database where all of you as NASA awardees, we refer to you as innovators, can find the potential partners. You can also network with each other, and Michael will show you how to do that on the community page. So you're going to be able to find partners using keywords and AI searching. There's a lot of different ways that you can filter. Pending reauthorization, you will be able to find a lot. Well, across all agencies, you'll be able to find the SBIR funding opportunities. You can bookmark favorites as you're going through and searching your partners. You can confidentially message with them through the system. You can network with other innovators, and the partners can also post on the community page. So sometimes you'll see posts from accelerators or from corporates that are looking for jobs, or maybe they have a demo day coming up. You'll see posts there. I did give you a QR code here in case you haven't been to the site yet, but you can get there that way. But you should have all, as awardees, you should have all received an email from us that gave you a link directly to the Innovator registration, and it gave you your username, which is your email, and your password. So you should have been able to automatically get into the site. But let's say you are saying, well, I have other people on my team that I want to join. So the way they would do that is they would go to the site, they would hit the register button up at the top that I have circled. And then this is the important part, you would register as an innovator. So you would just hit that innovator. If they are associated with your company or with your award, you're going to see that your organizations have already been preloaded. So it should be a pretty simple registration and onboarding process for them. But those are the ways that you are going to gain access to the system. And now I'm going to stop sharing, and I am going to turn it over to Michael, who is going to walk you through the system.
Thank you, Carol. And thank you, Rupak, and thank you, Keith. All right, so I'm Michael. I've been working on this platform for quite a while now as the lead software engineer. And it's so great to see so many innovators here to learn about the platform. I'll walk through some of the basic features, the most important features that you would be using as an innovator on the site. And if you have questions while I'm speaking, feel free to put them into the chat, and someone will reply. And I'm sure there'll be time at the end to answer any questions that may come up. Like Carol said, hopefully you all received your credentials in an email sent out yesterday. If you didn't, it may be in your spam folder. So be sure to check there as well. But if for whatever reason you can't find it, you should let us know, and we can take care of that for you. Okay, so this is the main landing page that you see shared currently. As Carol mentioned, NASA is not the only agency on the platform. We also have NHLBI as well as Department of Energy, and they each have their own informational pages. To log in, you'll click on NASA program here, and then the login in the top navigation bar, you can just go to Innovator. Because again, as Carol said, you're all innovators in the nomenclature of our platform. There are innovators who are award winners, and then there are partners who help them commercialize their technologies. So you will log in as an innovator using those credentials we sent you in the email yesterday. So I'll just quickly log in. All right, so I'm now logged in as a NASA innovator, and this is the dashboard. Just a few quick things I want to point out here at the beginning. You'll see at the far right is this feedback button. It gives you a chance to rate your experience on the platform, give us any comments, ask questions, or even suggest new features that you would like to see on the platform, because we are always improving and adding to what we currently have. And then at the very bottom, there is this report a bug link here that will take you to a form that you could fill out to report any technical issues you encounter on the site. Our hope, of course, is that you don't encounter any, but it's always possible. So we would greatly appreciate it if you could just alert us to any trouble you're having, and we'll be sure to address it as soon as we can. All right, so let's first take a look at the profile. So I recommend this being the first stop you take when you enter into the platform, because we did create your accounts, but of course we don't have all your information, and we don't have all your updated information. So some of the information we relied on could have been outdated. So you can just click edit here, and this will take you to your profile. So the first tab here has to do with you, your personal information, including name, contact information, job title. You'll notice some of these inputs have this little eye icon here. That just means that those inputs are available on the platform for other users to see. So like your first name, your job title. Your email, your phone number, these are not publicly displayed. Rather, they're used by the admins on the site when vetting whether you are an innovator or that you actually belong to the organization, and that there wasn't some mix-up. So that's just good to know. I also recommend you click change password here and just quickly update your password. So we did generate a password for you, but you'll probably want to change that to something new once you log in for the first time. You can also see other registered users who are associated with your organization. So if, for instance, you had colleagues on the site also associated with your org, you could view them here, and there are quite a few OmniSync users on the platform. Okay, the next tab is organization information. So both tabs here have to do with that. The first is basic org information, just including like your name, address, social, and organization description. This is very important. And for many of your orgs, we're going to be lacking this actually. So this is something you'll want to come in and update. All of this information, except these fields, are viewable on the platform by partner users. So you're going to want to make sure this is up to date and as robust as possible. Additional organization information, this is where you can begin to really flesh out your organization's profile. So the size of your organization, any special certifications you have, your NEX codes, documents. So here you can upload a pitch deck as well as company capabilities or other materials as PDFs. And partner users, when they view your organization's profile on the site, they'll be able to download these and get a better sense of who you are and what you do. And you can also link to any videos you have, like say on YouTube or Vimeo, where you may have someone discussing your technology and your organization. And then finally, there's also a fundraising section where you can enter any fundraising information that's pertinent. And you can imagine this is also of great interest to the partner users on the site. Awards. So you should see at least one NASA award displayed here. So this is where you can review all the SBIR, STTR awards we have associated with your organization. OmniSync, we do have SBIR awards, but they're not from these agencies, so they're not displayed here. But this is where you can double check that we have the correct awards associated with your organization. And then the final tab, this is quite important, so your technical profile. So in addition just to basic information about your organization, partner users are of course interested in the technologies that you're working on. And we do have your SBIR awards on file, but those are quite technical and they may not encompass everything that your organization does. So this is an opportunity for you to add technologies to your profile that either are not captured by your SBIR award, or perhaps your SBIR award, informs multiple technologies that you're working on at your organization. This is where you can come and add those. And then partner users on the other side of the application will be able to search through these technologies and find your organization that way. So we can just quickly go through the process of creating a technology. It's just a form you fill out and we help you along the way. So the first thing you do is you enter a few keyword descriptions. So I'll just do some random NASA sounding keywords here. So autonomous, on orbit, radiation hardened, in situ resource utilization, thermal protection. Of course, your keywords would be, I'm sure, better selected. And then here you can choose to link your technology to an SBIR award. All of you should see at least one award here in this dropdown. Like I said, for OmniSync, we don't have an NASA award. You can also select none. So if this is a technology that doesn't yet have SBIR funding, that's fine as well. So I'll just click none. And what we do is we take the information you've input here and we suggest a title and a capability statement for your technology. Now, of course, you can edit this and you probably want to edit it as this is just sort of a first draft, but it gets you part of the way there for creating this technology description. We also have guidelines here if you need a little help. And then you tag this technology to make it easier to find for the partners. So the NASA taxonomy, hopefully you're all familiar with the NASA taxonomy. So ways of categorizing your technology. So you can select, let's see, let's just select one of these, maybe the first one. And then you can enter your current TRL or technology readiness level. So what stage is this technology currently at? And then importantly, what kinds of partners would really help you commercialize this technology? Because that's going to play a big part in the matchmaking process. So let's just say we're looking for an investor, but you can select, of course, as many as you need. And then you click Save Technology. And as soon as you do, this technology is on the site for partners to find. And they'll be able to find you, your company, and in fact, reach out and message you if they're interested in learning more. You can get a sense of what it looks like for partners by looking at the preview feature here. So this is what they would see in the search engine they have. And you can edit it and delete it. And in fact, I'm going to delete this because it doesn't exist. There we go. Okay, so that's the main way you begin to build out your innovator profile. We can return to the dashboard here. And next, let's take a look at the search capabilities offered to innovators. So you have two engines, as Carol alluded to in her presentation, so partners and funding. Funding, we can just take a very quick look at it. Of course, the SBIR program is currently not reauthorized, so can't really use this funding engine. Once it is reauthorized, this will be filled with all the solicitations across various federal agencies. You'll be able to search for those that match what you're doing. So for now, there isn't much here, but we can take a look at the second search engine partners, and this is probably the more important search engine for you. And this is how you find other users on the site who can help you commercialize your technology. So what you're searching for here is all the partner organizations that have been registered, as well as the users associated with those organizations. And we give you a lot of ways to find specific partners. So you can see we have a number of filters here. So you can filter by partner role, service category. So what kind of services does the partner provide? So let's see, investments. So you can see we have a lot of investments broken down into granular detail. So if you're in need of a specific kind of investor, you can search there. Let's see. We have engineering design, if that's something you need. Manufacturing, probably. Yep, manufacturers. So this is a great filter to really drill down into the types of partners available. The industries that the partners work in. Now, these are not just NASA partners, but these are actually partners across the agencies on the platform, including DOE and NIH. And there's actually quite a bit of overlap, but that's why when you browse through the industry filter, you'll see cardiovascular devices. These are usually NIH partners. But there's, of course, energy, general devices, imaging devices, manufacturing, lots of relevant industries. Entity, so what kind of entity are the partners? And then state, so where is that partner located, headquartered? So those are filters. You can use our keyword search. So you can enter a keyword, and this will search through all our partners to see for that keyword if they've entered it in their own profile. And so I just searched aerospace here, brings up quite a few aerospace related partners. You see this bookmark here, you can bookmark them. So this becomes one of your saves. And I'll show you in a bit, this just appears on the dashboard. And you can export and share those saves. Let's see. So let's click into one of these. So if we click into Snowpoint Ventures, you'll learn more about this partner organization, what they do, their service category. We show similar partners at the bottom here. But this is very important. So you can click View Partners. And what this does is it shows you all the users on the site who are part of this organization. So in this case, we see Kevin here. And if you're interested in reaching out to this company, you can click Instant Message. And I'll show you in just a minute. It'll open up the messaging feature on the site, and you can start a conversation with this particular partner. And this is really where the collaboration comes in. This is how you find partners on the site to engage with. I did want to show the other mode of searching for partners. So we just saw keyword where you enter keywords and we match them up with the partner org. We also have this AI-powered search. The first time you click on this, we will generate a search query for you, but you can always edit these. And basically, this is what's called a semantic search. So rather than match keywords, the search engine attempts to understand the semantic content of your query. So not just crude keywords, but what you're actually getting at a higher level. And then it services partners that match, that intention. So it's a slightly more sophisticated way of finding these partners. And what's nice here, you can sort of enter in your project description, your technology description, and it will do a really great job of finding really well-matched partners to help you commercialize. So in this case, this query came from that fake technology I created a bit earlier, and it brings up some of these partners that could help me in various ways work on that technology. All right, so let me show you now the messaging. All right, so let's say I search for aerospace and I find, let's see, Snow Point Ventures. This is the partner I mentioned earlier. And let's say I'm interested in messaging with Kevin here. All I do is click on Instant Message. And this takes us to the messaging feature. And here we can click on Kevin. We'll learn more about him, the headquarter, and what company he's with. And we sort of provide an optional first message there if you want. You can just click on it, click send, and this sends your message over to Kevin. And now Kevin will receive an email letting him know that he has a message waiting for him on the site. And the same will happen with you as well. So if you log off, Kevin logs in, sees this message, replies to you, you will get an email letting you know that you have a message from Kevin waiting for you. And you come in, and then you can continue with your conversation. So let's go back now here. Okay, returning to the dashboard. So we have your saves here at the bottom of the dashboard. If you recall, when I was searching for partners, I could bookmark them. This is where they appear. So you can export these as a CSV file. And then you can share that CSV file if you need to. And you have both partners and funding opportunities down here. Okay, I think the final main feature we can take a look at is the community feature. As Carol mentioned, this is sort of the social hub of the platform. So here you can both read community posts that other users have submitted, and these users can be of any type. So you can see we have a bunch of admin posts here. So often site-wide announcements that admins have to make will appear here. This is also where partners, like accelerators, will make posts announcing certain programs that might be of relevance to you. But it's also where you as an innovator can find other innovators, perhaps to collaborate with. You can search through the posts that are already here, but you can also create a post. So you just click Create a Post. You select a tag for your post. So we have a few common ones here, like looking for a mentor, looking for an SME, looking to collaborate. You give your post a title, enter the details, and then if you'd like, you can link to an external source if that's useful, and click Post, and it should appear immediately in the feed, available for other users to interact with. All right, the very final thing, we do have this news feed here. So if you click on it, it will open this news feed, which is all currently published news items from nasa.gov. And these are updated every day, basically. So you can see relevant NASA stories here, and you can bookmark them and return to them from this feature. All right, I think those are the main features that would be of relevance to the innovators here. Carol, did you have anything to add, or were there any questions that we could address?
I don't have anything to add. I think that was great. You covered all the points that I usually like to cover. There was one question in here that I didn't know the answer to. They were asking about being able to move between the different platforms. You we talked about DOE having a platform, NHLBI, and NASA. And as an innovator, can they move between the platforms, or do they have to create separate accounts for each one?
Yeah, it's a good question, because as we're discovering, and of course as we knew before, there is quite a bit of overlap in the kinds of awards these organizations have won, especially between the DOE and NASA. So a lot of these innovators have both a DOE award and a NASA award. I will say that which agency you're specifically associated with doesn't make a huge difference when using the site. So for instance, um, partner users will still be able to find you, whether they're with the DOE or whether they're with NASA. There are a few changes in your searches for partners, because on the other side, partner organizations, they can limit the kinds of innovators who can find them. So for instance, if a partner enters the site on the Department of Energy side, they can select to only be findable by Department of Energy innovators. Same for NASA and same for NIH, although most select to be findable by everyone. There are a few instances where they may limit that, in which case which organization you belong to on the innovator side, which agency I should say, makes a small difference. There is no functionality currently to toggle between the different agencies. That might be something we could consider doing, or allowing innovator orgs to belong to multiple agencies, depending on the kinds of awards they've won in the past. I think that might be useful. So that is something we can consider. But I think in the near term, it doesn't really make a huge difference for the innovator experience.
Right, and I'll just add that all providers, so I think Michael demonstrated how you can find a service provider. So I know all service providers are automatically displayed on all of the different platforms.
Yes, that's correct. So service providers are a special case where they're available to all innovators regardless of agency.
But I do hear you. I forget who asked that question, but I think I could see how you might want to toggle between the different agencies. So maybe we can think about that as a different feature.
Michael, along these lines also, there was another question that I think is important because it's come up before with other agencies as well, where certain innovator companies might have things that are helpful to other innovator companies as well for collaborations. And there comes up this issue where they want to be registered as both an innovator and a partner. This has come up before. So can you talk a little bit about how we have provided a way for something like that to happen?
Yeah, so that has come up in the past, and there are a few companies currently that are registered as both innovators and partners. And to do that, you just have to email one of the site admins and let them know that that's something you want to do. So if you go down and click help down here, or contact, that's how you can find an email address to reach out to. And what we'll do is we'll just confirm that it makes sense for the platform for that organization to be both an innovator and a partner. And we'll make that change on the back end. And then, so after that change is made, your company will be findable by other innovators as a partner organization, but you'll also appear as an innovator for partners to find. The one caveat there is that you as a user will need two separate accounts, one as an innovator account and the other as a partner account. And then when you want to conduct innovator business, you'll just log in with your innovator email. And then to conduct partner business, you'll just log in with the partner email. And that's how we've conducted it so far.
And I would just add that personally, I think the best way to engage with other innovators is using the community page. I know when DOE had some solicitations out where people were looking to collaborate, it's usually around the time that the solicitations come out that people start posting on the community page and ask, I'm thinking of working on topic XYZ, but I need to add an expert in lithium batteries, something like that. And so that's the way that the innovators typically engage with one another.
Yeah, think of that community page as basically a NASA SBIR specific Slack, essentially, for communicating amongst all of y'all. And then also one thing just to note, I know that there's a lot of interest here in terms of cross-agency collaboration. So for example, there's another innovator who's saying that his stuff could be helpful to healthcare too. So they kind of wanted to access NHLBI, the NIH kind of side of things too. So just know that it is our goal as well as OmniSync to be able to get all the agency SBIR offices on here so that it becomes a single system for all the agencies and innovators and partners to collaborate together. That is our hope as well, to be there and as a single sign-on. So just letting you all know that it is top of mind for us as well, because we do understand the cross collaboration and cross-disciplinary work that all of you are doing and is required. And yes, that's another question as well. So actually, we have another system for that we use for DoD already. It's a little disconnected from this one, but there is an active effort to actually combine them. So you're very much on the same wavelength of thinking as we are. So just giving you a little bit of a foresight into what's planned in the future. Michael, there's also a lot of, a few requests for updating email IDs for access from these innovators. Could you go over the process for that as well?
So changing emails?
Yeah,
basically.
I started to explain it in the chat where that is, that it's attached to their username. So it's not like a simple process. They have to let us know.
Yeah. So what you can do, you can let us know. But maybe the fastest way is to register a new account with your new email address. And you'll go through the onboarding process, and I can quickly show that. So you could create a new account with your new email, new password. And once you do that, you'll have this brief little onboarding process where you'll give us your personal profile information. In this case, I'm already associated with an organization. If you create a new account, you will not be, in which case this screen will show a search bar, and you can search for your organization, and it should appear because it's already in the platform. So you just click on that organization, and that links your profile to that company. Once you do that, you can click Next. Here you can upload any technologies, or you can skip this for now, doesn't matter. And then you just click Finish. And that will submit your new email ID as your primary one. And then a site admin will just do a quick verification, a vetting process. It usually takes 1 business day at the most, just to double check everything's correct. The admin will approve you. You'll receive an email letting you know that you've been approved with your new email username, and then you can log into the site just like we did in the demo today. So that's probably the easiest way. And you can always just let us know via email that the old one is no longer valid, and we can go and delete it. And I see there is already a bug reported, so I'm eager to take a look at that and hopefully fix that as soon as possible.
Actually, Mike, that was probably me recording one of the requests to have the login
okay.
creds sent back to them.
Okay.
So far we have one person on the list that we need to ask. We need to go back and like double check what the organization name was.
Okay, great. Thank you, Dan.
Yeah, and then there's another one in the chat here who says that they aren't receiving the email, even the one that you resent, Dan. There might be something going on there.
Is this the email with the login credentials?
Yeah, we have 2 requests for that so far. One person, I was able to find their organization name and send that out. One person, we need to double check the organization name.
Okay. Yeah. We can get you those. Great. And as a reminder, we will edit this webinar and put it on the site itself so that anything we've discussed here, you can always go back and review if needed.
We might be done then, Michael. I don't
Yeah.
see a lot of questions coming in, so. I guess I would just throw that out there. Does anyone else have any other questions they'd like to add before we close this out? But we hope that you'll start actively using the site, and we look forward to hearing back from you on things.
There are some questions coming through in the chat. Not entirely sure if they are relevant to the platform. But so one thing, you and Michael, correct me if I'm wrong, we do recommend that people kind of refrain from adding any super proprietary information on this platform. You're not trying to convince the partner to close a deal on the platform, right? You're trying to make a connection, and everything else after that should be outside the system, really, with NDAs and everything. That's my recommendation personally, but hopefully that makes sense. And then in terms of future NASA missions being listed as a potential partner, I don't believe that's what this platform is for. What might happen is the NASA admins might post opportunities in the community page, like the admins of other agencies have done. So that's the extent to what I think I can say. Beyond that, I think I'll let the NASA folks kind of chime in there.
Yes, Rupak, this is Mike Vinci. I'd be happy to comment on that. Yeah, the purpose for this partnering platform is to help get as vigorous set of external opportunities as we can. So for opportunities that are happening from within the agency, we will be making sure we use our regular channels of communication. But we wanted to make sure we provided this sort of partnering platform to maximize the interplay and the interactions out there with commercialization firms and with industry itself. So I think it'd be fair to say look towards the agency communication specifically for agency directed opportunities, but please feel free to avail yourself to this partnering platform as much as you possibly can. And I'd really encourage vigorous interactions in that community page just to maximize the interaction.
Fantastic. Thanks, man. All right. It looks like we're at the end. Thank you so much, all of you, for your kind comments. Do give us feedback, like we mentioned. It helps us make this platform better for you all. So definitely looking forward to helping a lot of y'all progress in your commercialization journeys.